Thanks for having us at your meeting. You know, I'm the guy that does the insurance and other benefits here for Taylor throughout the company. And we had an opportunity that came up with Allstate. They offered me a package, and I thought of a few of my clients. They had to be a certain size, over 100 total employees. But there's some guarantees and some opportunities with these products that are especially important to a lot of people here at Taylor's. It helps with some of the larger out-of-pockets you might face with your health insurance. It also helps with some other things of insurance you may have a hard time getting. We have some guarantees that you can't get in the open market, and as they say, it's for a limited time only. So I ran to my better clients, and I made sure that y'all had a look-see at this stuff and a view of some of the products available to you because of Taylor. And I'd like to introduce you to I'd like to introduce you to Lynn Sawyer and Vince Callahan, who will actually be old Vince Callahan. Vince is actually a regular customer here at Taylor on Colley Avenue, but he's one of those people that have one of those really old homes that needs a lot of stuff all the time. You know. But what they're going to do is sort of give you an overview, and then we're not going to just take about 10 minutes. We'll be done. You can finish your meeting, and then they're going to be back. And we have to meet with everybody at every store for this. You have to sign a waiver and all this stuff, but you'll understand it when Lynn gets through. So Lynn, it's your show.
Hey, thanks guys. Let everybody start. I handed you 2 brochures, so pull the one out with the blue top that says critical illness insurance. The first thing I want to tell you guys is that this is going to pay without coordinating with any other insurance that you have. We've already had, the discussion that you have several military people here. So if everybody had the same occurrence, it would pay everyone the same thing. It doesn't coordinate. It doesn't say who's got better insurance, who doesn't. It's paid directly to you. It's paid tax-free. And what Brian was talking about, during the initial open enrollment, there's no health questions and no pre-existing conditions on several of the things that we'll go through. So, there are the times that there's 3 big major things that could really kind of clobber you that we've put together. But all of these things are independent. So the fact that we talk about all of them, you don't have to be on Taylor's Medical. You don't have to get all of them. You could say, well, I like that one. I want just that. So although we sort of are going to throw a lot of information at you here, they're all independent, and you can get whatever that you're interested in. The 3 big things that we talked about that could really kind of put you in a bad financial state, and or if you got really injured badly, if you had what we call a critical illness, which is stroke, heart attack, all the the biggies, and all the details are in here, or a cancer policy. So we put those 3 plans in here, and again, they're independent. So if you will, we're going to kind of go over, and just real quickly, the critical illness. Everybody see the one that says, the little inserts, it says group voluntary critical illness. I'm going to go through, there's a low option and a high option on all 3 of these plans. I'm going to describe and price the high option, just so that, we're consistently. So the high option, if any of you or your spouse, your immediate family would be covered, you can cover your spouse or your children, and of course you have to cover yourself. If you had a heart attack or a stroke or a bypass, major organ transplants, this policy is going to pay you tax-free $20,000. There are out-of-pockets and major expenses that you may incur, but I tell people it doesn't necessarily have to be paid for your deductibles. I know this sounds weird, but money doesn't make you get better. Money's not going to heal you. But if I have a really catastrophic scenario going on and I get a check for $20,000, no tax due on it, made out to me, it changes the way I deal with my illness. It changes the way I deal with my spouse. It allows me to do whatever I need to do. I will certainly have the money to pay my out-of-pockets, but I don't have to worry about, oh, how quickly do I have disability? When does it kick in? What are my copays? What about my car? You know, paying for my car, paying for, you know, all of the expenses that you have. This money is paid to you in all of these plans, and really you decide what you want to do with it. So, although we talk about out of pocket. So, if you had any of those, this plan would pay you $20,000. There are no pre-existing conditions on heart attack and stroke. So if you've had a heart problem in the past, or you've had a stroke in the past, or a heart attack, during this enrollment, they will pick you up. There are no health questions, and literally, we did McKinsey Construction, Brian's group, a couple of months ago. Within the first month of the coverage, we had one heart attack, one stroke. So, and you know, they had conditions that they knew about, but it was the same underwriting. So that's a pretty big deal. We're going to go over the cancer, the group voluntary cancer. I really consider that a critical illness also. This is a very rich plan, and again, we're going to go over the high option. If you look at where it says hospital confinement and all these other benefits, I'm not going to read them to you, but for instance, for every day you're in the hospital, your medical is going to be paying, your TRICARE is going to be paying, whatever it is that you have, or if you're on your spouse's coverage. But this is going to pay directly to you an additional $200 for every day you're in the hospital. If you're in a military hospital, it's going to pay $200 also. You know, you have to be able to coordinate with all the militaries. And you go through, it pays every time you have chemotherapy, every time you have an outpatient, if you have surgery. I'm not going to, you know, read all of them to you. But basically, this thing works so well because if I have, like, my mother had a cancer. She went in the hospital. She got operated. No chemo, nothing, no big deal. It would have paid her some wonderful money. But then I've helped clients through claims that have had extended chemotherapy, have gone, well, oh, I want to go to Sloan Kettering. I want to go to the Cancer Treatment Center. Well, if I've got plenty of money, then I don't have to worry about that. I can do whatever I want to do. And this pays every day that you're in the hospital, every day. So if you have a really serious extended amount of treatment, you get some real serious money because it's paid every time you see some kind of a physician or have a treatment. Now, pre-existing condition. We have conditional guarantee issue. So let's say, actually, the secretary, well, she's not, she's really the manager. Yeah, was in the middle of treatment, and so you can be diagnosed with cancer, have had cancer in the past. There are no health questions, but there is a 12-month pre-existing on cancer. So, person just got diagnosed with cancer. This is going to cover them. Typically, if you've had cancer in the past 10 years, no plan will pick you up at all. This will cover you, but your cancer will be covered in 12 months. Pre-existing means that you haven't had treatment the 12 months prior. So if you had cancer 3 or 4 years ago, that's not actually considered pre-existing if you haven't had treatment in the 12 months. Any other cancer plan would not pick you up. If you've had cancer, that's the one health question. You can't get it. So this will. That is just an amazing benefit. Questions so far? Who's chuckling? All right. The accident plan is the next one, and that's sort of our 3. You know, this works really well. It also, just like as in the cancer. The thing that's unique about this, there's not lump sums of just like the critical illness, but if I've been in a really serious accident, as you go through this, you're going to see that every time, every day that I'm in the hospital, it's going to pay an additional amount. If I'm in intensive care, if I ride in an ambulance, if I'm burned. So the more serious the injury, the longer the treatment, the more money you need, this thing works. So that's what's so great about it, is that it's going to help on the little things too. It'll help on the little, you know, minor things or the incidents. We've had people that have had strokes and heart attacks and been back to work in a week. Then we've had them not be able to ever return to work. So this is going to really kind of pay you the money, and you decide where you need to use it. There is a blue sheet here that kind of I did that sort of summarizes, it puts, all together, because we gave you a lot of brochures. For instance, the voluntary critical illness, if you went with the high plan, I highlighted non-smoker high plan 20,000. If you're in the age bracket from up under 50, or over 50, it goes up. So we got some of each in here, but you're gonna look at your age bracket, and this is gonna be your weekly premium. So if you're 51 to 60, it's $854 a week. You guys are paid bi-weekly, I think, right? So you would double that.
16, 17.
There is all of these premiums can be pre-taxed. So you guys understand what pre-tax is, right? And how it impacts. If I earn $10, I only see 7 in my paycheck. So if I pay a $10 premium, that $3 that used to go to taxes goes to pay this. So it's very real when it hits your paycheck. In other words, if we say $20 pre-tax deduction, I'm only going to miss 14. So that's really what you're paying for it. The cancer and the specified disease, the one that we went over, again, I went on the high side. And you also have an initial diagnosis. If you've had cancer in the past, you don't get that, but they will cover you. And there's a $100 wellness visit. If you or your spouse or your children, and in the brochures you'll see, everybody goes, you can get $100 back per person on the policy. So that's $100 that I'm getting back after I've pre-taxed my premium. And this is not age-banded for us that are over 50. That's really good. Weekly is $563. So I'm going to pre-tax that. If I want to cover my spouse, it goes across, and you can follow. Then the accident. The accident also has a medical expense reimbursement of up to $750 for the injury. So, you know how on the other ones we had so much a day in the hospital and that type of thing? Well, if I go to the doctor because I tripped and sprained my ankle, I'm going to give them my medical card, I'm going to give them my TRICARE, whatever I've got, but I'm going to get a copy of that bill, and whatever the bill is, up to $750, they send you back. So, all those things you've been told all your life about double dipping a claim, this goes against it, but it's real because it's going to put that money back into your pocket. Then there's actually an outpatient physician's treatment that'll pay $75 per employee for seeing a doctor for any reason. So you could actually go for your cancer wellness, get $100 back for that, file on the outpatient benefit, get $75. This is if you have them all, because remember, you don't have to have them all. You get $75 back on that. So there's wellness benefits on these, as well as that outpatient for the accident. So I did an example on the bottom. So all of these benefits are portable. If you leave, they go with you. They do not go up as your age goes up. Yay, that's good. And again, all of these three are pre-tax. So I did an example. If you were in the age 36 to 50 age bracket, and I did the high option on the cancer and everything, so it would pay $20,000 for the critical illness. The cancer plan is the high option, and the accident, it gets to where if it was all free, we would all take it. But you kind of look at, cost versus, possibly will I use it? How will I go? Well, if you will actually file your wellness benefits, you end up, the annual cost for all three plans together was $800. You pre-tax it, it ends up being $500. Wellness back from the cancer, $100. Outpatient from the accident, $75. That leaves me with a cost of $400 for the year. And if anyone in my family has an injury and goes to see a doctor, I've actually made money on it. So it's not really meant to try to do that for you, but in reality it has. So it makes you really aware that you want to file those wellness benefits. Don't just use it when you're ill. Keep up with things and get the money back.
Two things.
Yes, sir.
It's 2 outpatients a year, right? Not one, it's 2.
Yes.
And we got around.
Okay. Universal life. So we've got those three, the critical illness. They told me to wrap it up. Everybody knows what life insurance is. This is permanent life insurance, universal life, guarantee issue. It locks in. Everybody wishes they bought it when they were young like these three guys, because then it never goes up as you get older. We have guarantee issues, so there's no health questions, up to $15 for the employee and whatever that will buy. Basically, this is just an example of your rates. So you would look and say, if I'm a smoker or a non-smoker, this is non-tobacco. Across the top are the weekly premiums. Across this side is the age. So it's kind of like the, what do you call that? A graph? So you're gonna find your age, and then you say, you can either say to Lance, tomorrow, I said Vince, tomorrow, I do that all the time, I want $25,000, how much will that cost me? Or hey, I wanna spend 10 bucks a payday, what will that get me? Again, you own this, it never changes, it goes with you, portable, nothing. That's it, fast. Questions?
I'd like to say one thing about the life insurance, because that's how I sort of came to the business. What's unique about this product that we're talking about here is, one, it is a permanent UL product, okay? The premium's locked in, it goes with you. It's not like the term we have through our group insurance, okay? You can buy it on spouses at half as much of whatever you buy on yourself. But the medical underwriting is unheard of. It is, right? I mean,
Right,
it's a
absolutely.
guaranteed issue. This isn't that, I hate to say this word out loud, this crap you see on TV. This is real, bona fide UL, okay? And you gotta look at the numbers whether they're for you or not. But if any of you have ever had health issues and your insurance man comes back to you and says, well, I got some good news and some bad news. I can get you insurance, but you have to sell your house, you know. So these are great rates, and you'll be better off, than I
You
am.
kind of move yourself forward to say, do I ever want any more life insurance? If you do, get it now, because I hate to say this, we only
The
get older.
guarantee's only good for this year.
And next year, these policies will be here, but next year, it'll be fully underwritten. So you have to answer like 3 pages of 12, health questions. So that's the big thing about why we're making the effort for everyone to see it. So he will be back tomorrow to talk, just let everybody see. We just didn't want you to feel like pressured, like here's the product, do you want it or not? We wanted you to be able to take it home, look at it, think about it, show it to your spouse, kind of think it through, because it's a family decision.
And you'll have a lot of questions for Vince
Thank
when you
you.
get back. So